There's a hidden truth the billion-dollar men's health industry never wants you to uncover. They collect massive profits by persuading you that tiredness, lack of libido, and fading confidence after 60 are permanent and only fixable with costly drugs or injections. But imagine if I told you they were wrong? What if the way to restoring your vitality isn't inside a pharmacy, but waiting right in your grocery store's produce section? I'm Dr. Girag Mihai. With more than 20 years as a men's health specialist, I'm here to expose the facts. The solution to exhaustion and declining performance isn't locked in synthetic medicine, but in 3 powerful fruits created by nature itself. They're clean, delicious, energy your body not only accepts, but actually longs for. Many men assume decline is inevitable. Yet what science really uncovers is something completely different. A red fruit that strengthens your arteries, a green one that nourishes your testosterone, and a yellow fruit that recharges your cells naturally. This isn't mere guessing. It's nutrition therapy, proven by strong research and supported by real stories of men who changed their lives. Today, I'll walk you through how to combine these 3 everyday fruits to spark a powerful transformation in your physical, mental, and intimate health. Stay tuned, because what you're about to discover may change your whole journey of aging. And if you stick until the end, I'll share a bonus insight, a tiny adjustment that multiplies all these fruits' effects together. Before we begin, if you value honesty and want to remain strong, energetic, and confident, I invite you to subscribe and tap the bell. That way, you'll always receive real content designed for men just like you. If this helps you, comment 1. If not, comment 0, and share what you'd like to see. My purpose is to guide you. Now, let's uncover the power of the first fruit. You might be surprised. The first fruit we'll discuss isn't a rare supplement, but a nutritional treasure, recognized for its ability to restore circulation, aid prostate health, and recover firmness where it matters. I'm referring to the pomegranate, a genuine circulation enhancer. I clearly remember one patient, James, age 72, who visited my clinic and opened up. "Doctor, I'm not the man I used to be." His energy, confidence, and intimacy seemed like distant memories. But James didn't realize that his struggle wasn't age. It was something modern science now explains very clearly: circulation. The pomegranate is remarkable because it's rich in polyphenols, especially a nutrient called punicalagin. These compounds serve as natural fuel for your blood vessels. First, they combat oxidative damage, defending the delicate lining of your arteries. Second, and this is crucial, they support your nitric oxide levels to rise. Nitric oxide is the body's main signaling molecule, needed to relax and widen blood vessels. With higher nitric oxide, blood flows more easily, particularly to the areas older men need it most. The speed of the change is striking. In clinical studies, men who consumed pomegranate juice daily noticed clear improvements in erection quality and duration within just 2 weeks. 2 weeks! No side effects, no prescriptions, simply your biology activated by a fruit. James followed my advice: 6 ounces of pure pomegranate juice each morning. Soon after, he returned, transformed. He stood taller, smiled proudly, and laughed that his wife viewed him differently. It wasn't chance, it was science. If intimacy feels like it's slipping, don't grab medication, reach for pomegranates instead. And that's only the start, because next we'll examine the green fruit that boosts testosterone naturally. Our second fruit is what I call the quiet testosterone enhancer, the avocado. I also recall the concern in the voice of Michael, a 68-year-old patient who confessed, "Doctor, I just don't feel like myself anymore." He was an active retiree, doing many things right, but something crucial had shifted. His drive, his essential energy was gone. Not just in intimacy, but across all parts of life. He felt slower, frailer, almost invisible. What Michael and countless others don't realize is that this isn't only about aging, it's about testosterone. And testosterone is more than just a blood number, it's an experience. It's that energy in your chest when you wake ready for the day. It's the confidence in your tone, the firmness in your handshake, and yes, the passion that gives intimacy meaning and direction. The challenge is, after 60, levels usually decline. But there's a natural method to fuel your hormones, and it isn't in a capsule or patch. It's found in the avocado. This creamy green fruit is filled with monounsaturated fats, the essential building pieces your body requires to create testosterone. It's also a provider of magnesium and zinc, two key minerals for stabilizing male hormones. And perhaps most importantly, it's packed with vitamin B6, which reduces cortisol, a stress hormone that silently suppresses testosterone production over time. When Michael started eating only half an avocado per day, the shift was immediate. Within a week, his energy lifted. He felt more engaged, more grounded, more alive. His mood brightened, his sleep deepened, and that spark he assumed was gone started burning again. In a world offering fast fixes, the truth is your body isn't broken. It simply craves the proper fuel. The avocado delivers that, raising testosterone and, as a bonus, strengthening heart health, which is a critical part of the performance equation. Now our journey moves to the third fruit, one so familiar its value is often overlooked. If pomegranate is the river restoring blood flow, and avocado is the forge shaping your hormones, then banana is the engine fueling every cell in your body. This isn't only about stopping cramps, it's about the main fuel that sustains your morning vitality. I still think of Thomas, a 73-year-old retired principal. He was a proud man, always occupied, but came to my office with a concern I often hear. "Doctor, I'm exhausted all the time, not just physically, but also mentally and spiritually. I wake already drained." He wasn't describing sadness, but real depletion. He had lost his inner drive. I asked a simple question. When was the last time you felt genuinely energized after breakfast? He paused, then admitted, "I skip breakfast most days," he said. And that was the clue. The body, especially after 60, doesn't simply ignite by itself. It needs a spark, a fuel that connects with your heart, muscles, and brain. That's where the humble banana comes in. Many men dismiss it as plain, but I regard it as essential. Bananas are abundant in potassium, an important mineral that does far more than prevent cramps. It's a natural protector for arteries, helping manage blood pressure, and ensuring the blood improved by pomegranate can move without restriction. Plus, bananas contain magnesium and vitamin B6, nutrients that gently relax blood vessels and shield arteries. But the real strength is in their energy-boosting capacity. Bananas provide the glucose your cells use to create energy. When Thomas started his mornings with a banana, sometimes with peanut butter and water, he noticed a change in just days. He told me, "I don't just have more energy, I feel steadier. I'm not crashing by mid-morning now." That's because bananas balance blood sugar and provide tryptophan, which your body converts to serotonin, the happiness chemical. This calms stress and improves mood. When energy flows consistently, everything in life feels smoother. Walking, thinking, staying engaged, and yes, performing when it matters. This is the foundation for everything. We've arrived at the most vital part. If there's one principle I've learned in over 30 years as a men's health specialist, it's this. Aging doesn't defeat a man, but surrender does. Too many good men accept exhaustion, fading desire and lowered self-confidence as the end of the road. But what I've witnessed, again and again, is that your body is always prepared to heal, always ready to respond once given proper support. We've reviewed the strengths of 3 key fruits. The pomegranate, which revives circulation, opening the doors for performance. The avocado, the silent powerhouse that elevates testosterone and controls stress. And the banana, the energy source that fuels both body and mind. Together, they're not merely food, they're the cornerstone for recovery. Now, as promised, I want to thank you for staying this far, with a practical plan and a bonus tip that lifts it further. Here's your action plan to begin tomorrow morning. I call it the Morning Vitality Trio. It's not a complex recipe, but a strong routine. When you rise, start your day with a 6-ounce glass of pure pomegranate juice. Alongside it, eat half an avocado and 1 banana. Why all at once? Synergy is the key. The pomegranate prepares your arteries for optimal blood flow. The avocado provides healthy fats that steady the banana sugars, preventing energy crashes and supplying stable fuel. And the banana, in return, gives potassium that works with the nitric oxide enhanced by the pomegranate. It's a flawless mix of nutrients that tells your body, from the first hour, we're rebuilding. This short 5-minute habit can be more powerful than any expensive supplement, because you're offering your body exactly what it needs, in the way it uses it best. Try it for a week and feel the difference. This isn't about chasing youth, it's about reclaiming the vitality that belongs to you, naturally. Choose foods that strengthen your body. Choose routines that renew your energy. Because this isn't the last page of your journey. It's the beginning of a new chapter, and you're the author of how it unfolds. If this message spoke to you, I ask one small favor. Share this video. Think of a father, a brother, a close friend, or a man you respect, who needs to hear that vitality has no expiration date. And now I'd like to hear from you. What's your biggest question or worry about men's health? Write it in the comments below. I promise to read each one so I can create videos that truly serve your needs. To never miss these future conversations, hit subscribe and press the bell. Together, we can reshape what it means to age with strength. Gentlemen, if today's video gave you something valuable for your health, confidence, or energy, you can show your support in a simple way. Just tap the thanks button below. Every gesture of support helps me keep creating content that empowers men to stay strong, confident, and healthy well past 60. And truly, I appreciate each and every one of you.